Thank you very much for taking the time this afternoon to join Oyi and myself for today's webinar, which is the iSTOX quarterly review, launching with momentum. We really had a very phenomenal start to the quarter with a few blockbuster issuers, and we look forward to bring more to you. So let us begin, Chopper. Just a quick disclaimer that anything that we say is not a call to action or a call to a sale. About Oyi, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen her in many of our PR articles, many of our videos. She's truly the face of iSTOX. Before iSTOX, she was at UBS, Morgan Stanley, and Nomura Singapore. A little bit about iSTOX is that our vision is really to give access to our rich investment opportunities, such as unicorns, private equity, hedge funds, in a small, minimum, comfortable ticket size, so that you guys can enter into more issuance and spread your and diversify your investments. We got a big announcement later, until which we have already sort of announced that we are changing our brand and our name. We'll show you more in the next couple of slides. If you got any questions, feel free to put it in the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen, or feel free to chat with us directly using the chat buttons and the Q&A buttons in your screen. Without further ado, let us invite Oyi to share us.
Thank you, Alex. Good afternoon, everyone. So happy to see you all join us this evening. There's a lot that's happened over the last year as well as this first quarter. We're now rapidly moving into the second quarter. And we thought it was a good opportunity to take a bit of a stock check as to what happened last year, how did some of our products perform, and what do we see in Q1, and what's the outlook for Q2. So I wanted to sort of really pause on what we did last year. It was a very difficult year, as you may know. When we got our license, we sort of walked straight into COVID. And I'm very, very grateful to Edison at Eternal Glade. Some of you who have followed us for a while, I don't know if you've actually watched the first webinar we did with Eternal Glade. It certainly wasn't a sophisticated setup. Alex has taken our webinar setup to a completely new level. But we sat there and we talked to Edison about what he thought, and he saw the market reflecting the fears of COVID versus the investment opportunities. And one of the things that he said that really struck me at that point in time, again, this was in sort of early March 2020, was the fact that he was starting to see green shoots in China. And he thought it was a fantastic opportunity or fantastic timing to launch a fund, because it really took out the timing of getting a clarity out of COVID and what was happening in China and Asia. And he actually took that thesis and worked it very well. So I'm very glad to report that as of 31st of March, his fund NAV now is 32% up from when he listed on the 26th of March. And so we're very happy that he's been performing so well. The second fund we did was a feeder fund of Quant Edge. As some of you may know, Quant Edge is one of Singapore's darling. It's a macro hedge fund that is one of the top few hedge funds in the world. And they listed with us a feeder fund in May last year. And again, from May to now, it's actually NAV has appreciated 26-27%. Also something that we're very proud of and very happy that the fund is performing well for our investors relative to what's been volatile in the public markets. We also work very closely with Elite Logistics Fund. We're so grateful that they worked with us in their earlier funding round. Their NAV hasn't been reported yet, but we are very happy that they paid or announced a distribution of 9% sometime last year. And so this accrued distribution will be paid either just or before they exit, and hopefully the monetization, and we hope that will happen very soon. We had a couple of funds list with us in December. Unicorn Fund, who hasn't quite reported its results yet. It has, but it's sort of only just started to deploy. But Ternary Cyprus Fund has also done quite well, listed in December, and by March they had appreciated 16%. So we've been very pleased with the funds that have worked with us. We think that there were many opportunities there for them to tap on our capital base. And we looking to them to be continued partners on our platform. Now we then went on to Q1, and Q1 was a massive blockbuster, bank issuances, so many things were happening. I hope you all got to see what we were doing, and if you had not, please go onto our website, iSTOX, you would www.istocks.com, and you will see some of the opportunities that we've added on. We saw 4 blockbuster issuances in Q1. We have many new features that we've added along the way, getting feedback from all of you who have gone onto our website or gone onto our platform and given us feedback. We've had 5 webinars, and we can show you a little bit of that across different topics, as well as many industry insight articles, as well as knowledge articles that you can slowly sort of go through and look through. And what we want to do is actually enhance the education around private market investing. And of course, any questions you might have, please send them to Alex, which is Alexander Lee at iStocks.com, and we're happy to chat with you one-on-one. So in Q1, we were super excited. We had opportunity to work with one of the top Chinese venture cap funds called Yunqi, and it is focused on enterprise tech. It is something that was very hard to access from Singapore, and we're very happy to present that to our investors. It is now on our platform for anybody who would like a position. Please see if there's any sellers on the platform for you to buy. We also worked with Mapletree Europe Income Trust. This is a portfolio of European commercial assets, and I know everybody talks about the death of the office. I assure you that's overrated. Their tenants were mostly technology companies, e-commerce companies, and they had very, very long lease arrangements with these tenants, more than 6 years. We were assured that our investors would sit on a very stable euro income returning fund. And of course, working with Mapletree was a great honor. We also had the great honor of working with Azalea. Azalea is a entity that within the Temasek stable that has collateralized private equity positions. And this is the 6th series of the bond, which is Astrea 6. And we took the bonds and we tokenized that for our investors. This is to allow investors to invest in a much smaller size rather than the large bond size of 250,000. We took that down to 20,000, and also the liquidity that potentially is available on our platform. The most recent one that we've listed, and you would have seen some recent publicity around it, is we worked with CGS-CIMB to create a commercial paper program. So their program is 150 million in size. They issued the first tranche of 10 million with us. This is, to me, a very interesting product because it compares very favorably to fixed deposits. As you know, fixed deposits in a big bank today are at less than 0.5%. CGS-CIMB is offering a 3-month paper at 1%. At the end of the 3 months, you can choose to either redeem or you can roll into their second round of the financing. Something that's a very new use case is actually the first commercial paper Sing dollar ever issued and digitized. And we're looking forward to continue to working with CGS-CIMB on the next few rounds. These are now actually available on iSTOX platform. So again, if you're keen and you'd like to see more information, please sign up and or log in to www.istocks.com. And what's really exciting is what's coming next. I mean, we're not going to stop at these 4, obviously. And coming up in Q2 and beyond, and this is where we're really sort of been a little bit of a pause, slightly because there's so much new things we're bringing to you, both as a brand, as well as other, things like ad, etc. And we'll come to that in a little bit. But coming up next, we have we're launching our private equity tranche of the offering, and hopefully we'll get you a couple of unicorns in there in the next couple of quarters. We also have a regional venture capital fund that we're super excited to bring to our investors, as well as hedge funds, structured products, more bonds. And where we want to take the bond space is obviously creating a capital markets for companies who haven't been unable to access the traditional capital markets. And so we're hoping to work with financial partners to bring that to you. Okay, just on the education front, I mean, we do recognize that private markets is something that's relatively new to investors or not, but for those who have just started their journey with us into the private markets, you will see that our website is full of content. And we want to improve that all the time. So if there's any particular topic that you find is interesting and we could cover, we would definitely find the expert to be on a panel. As you can see, we've done very interesting conversations, for example, with Lester at Roxit around EAMs and wealth management and the growth of that space. I'm quite sure you would have followed what's happening in Singapore and the development of the wealth management hub and how external asset managers are themselves growing their business and thinking about different products and investments to bring to their investors. There's a lot of thought on sustainability, green finance, and impact investing. It's something that we're thinking very hard how to represent on iSTOX. And please, if anybody has any ideas, we are actually actively working on an ESG fund to be listed on our platform. We are also working very closely with financial institutions and MAS to see how we can bring more green bonds to this space. The question is always going to be the convergence of assets that actually our investors are interested in versus really doing the right thing around green and how do we price that in the middle. And of course, our investors are always curious about digital securities. What does that mean? And of course, an extension to that, what do cryptocurrencies mean? Why is it such a hot topic? I think, we're going to organize a webinar coming up quite soon on cryptos with some experts that I have a huge amount of respect for. They've been in the finance industry for a very, very long time, and their journey into crypto and why is it, the traditional finance people are getting super excited about crypto. There are other interesting topics like deep tech investing, potentially one on convertible bonds, VC investing in Southeast Asia, as well as another topic around fintech development on wealth management. So stay tuned. Please keep a lookout for EDMs and please join us when you can. If not, I think we keep this on our website and you can download them when you have time to watch them.
I think for this, we also have a lot of experts who are investors on platform or watching the webinar now. If you have something of a specific topic that you're very interested in to share with the community, we're open to holding a webinar with you. Just reach out to us.
And what we try to do is also sort of keep very current in our thinking. And on the one hand, we want to address some of the fundamental questions that our investors might have. What is a private REIT? What is private equity? What's the difference between private and public? How do I think about valuation or trading, etc.? And that's certainly something that we try to keep current. And of course, the latest craze is NFTs and why should investors care? And that is a very, very interesting topic for you to read. That's I think one of the latest pieces on our website. All right, so coming to a lot of changes on our platform and what we're doing and enhancing and really making this a very exciting place for investors to be part of the iSTOX community. First of all, I think the most important one for all of you is we're relaunching our referral program and we're making this super easy to refer. And so, if we, I think Alex is going to show you how to get onto our website. I think it's on our website.
Yes, it's inside the iSTOX platform. So if you have an account with us, when you log into your current account, you can immediately see it. You can start referring your friends for 150 USD credit each time you get.
A great opportunity for everyone to log in and see what the new look is like as well. The second thing we've put on is I know a lot of investors would love to sign up, but they're not quite sure yet. And bank statement is sort of a little bit of a pain just to upload without sort of understanding what we offer. So we now allowing you to register without the bank statement, but of course when you invest, then that's the time that we will require that. But that will hopefully make that easier for all of you. And then the third one, if you haven't seen, is we have launched yen as one of our currencies. Obviously, we're sort of looking to potentially having Japanese yen investments on our platform. And I just wanted to remind everyone that actually we have a foreign exchange conversion for US dollar, euro, Sing dollar, and now Japanese yen on our platform. So once you can just transfer Sing dollar and do that conversion on our platform when you see the right investment product. So the exciting news, some of you would have seen a peek preview on our LinkedIn. We are doing a massive rebranding exercise together with the launch of our app, and our new name is ADDX, Private Markets Made Possible. This is something that we spent a lot of time refining, really sort of in line with the speed and the flexibility and the transformation of what we do via the app. It's the same opportunities made a lot easier, so you can download articles, you can watch the videos, you can hit the subscribe button all on the app. So we're super excited. This app will be launched, I think, in about 2 weeks' time. And obviously everybody will get an email or a lot of marketing around the new app. And we hope that everybody will join us in downloading the app and using it. So we really wanted to keep this short and sweet because we'd love to sort of hear more questions. Anybody on the floor that have burning questions around the platform, what we're doing with the app. And I would love to hear some commentary on what everyone sees as investments they'd like to see on our platform. Well, while you're thinking of the questions, let's see the video that we have on our transformation to ADDX.
Wow, that's the video that our in-house team created. So shout out to them and thank you to the team. We're really excited to welcome you guys to the new mobile app. It will really be a game changer. It will be a much more refreshed look, much more convenient for you to access private markets anytime, anywhere, especially now in the day or age when we're all on our mobile phones. We've come to the end of the short presentation. I see a couple of questions here in the Q&A session. Please upload more of your questions into the button and we will answer it right now. I think the first question I see is regarding the app. We have Anonymous attendee asking, when can I download the app? The app is coming soon. In the next couple of weeks, I think about 10 more days, we'll launch the app. And we'll send an announcement to you guys through WhatsApp, through email, so that you'll be aware that the app is live and you guys can check it out.
So somebody is asking about, when is our sort of next deal coming? I would say look out for it in timing with the relaunch or the launch of the ADDX brand, as well as the app. I think the timing will sort of be around there. So probably around third week of May will be our next transaction. So there are a number of opportunities out there, and it's there are different ones. For example, real estate, potentially private equity, potentially something in crypto. So watch out for that space.
So somebody asked, what does ADDX stand for? So initially, iSTOX, we focus on making security token offerings safe and secure. But with ADDX, we realized that iSTOX, we have created a platform, a foundation where we can start really adding value to investors, really growing the ecosystem, really getting more people included into these great opportunities as a low minimum ticket. So ADDX really stands for adding value, and X stands for exchange.
Who doesn't want to add value to their portfolio, right?
Yes. For everyone, more detailed explanation, you can check out our blog or the landing page at iSTOX.com/ADDX. And ADDX sounds like Alex, but that wasn't where we got the inspiration from.
We will remember you for that, Alex. I think somebody's asked if the platform is only available to accredited investors. Well, at the moment, we are only open to accredited investors, corporate as well as institutional investors. Obviously, we would love to see this open up to a wider retail audience, but that's not possible yet. But we do think that the accredited investor minimum should be able to cover, I think, most of you who are online, and that is 1 million net financial assets, Singapore dollars, or 300,000 in net income every year.
I do see a couple of questions regarding the fees and some of the listings that we have. About the fees, you can reach out to me directly. My email is on the screen. I'll be happy to share more with you.
Generally, there is a subscription fee for our products as well as a trading fee. We obviously look to the different fee schedules for those. Please reach out to Alex for the different fee schedules. So there is someone asking about investing in private markets. It is not so liquid. Indeed, it is not. Our funds that we have on our platform, for example, the China VC fund is a 10-year fund. Our Mapletree fund is a 6-year fund. And the reason why we think that our platform provides a lot of value add to investors is actually the ability to trade the tokens on our platform. And therefore, if you need to, for some reason, our investors actually love the funds that we bring to them because it's actually very scarce and very hard to access. But once you access them, I think the biggest question that investors have is I may or may not want to hold this for 10 years. And therefore, what is very neat about our platform is that you can actually present an opportunity to sell your funds should you require some liquidity or monetize the position. Maybe you want to sell the fund to buy into a new product that is available as well. So we hope to bring more and more liquidity as our platform grows bigger and we can develop a deeper market making platform. But bear with us for now, although I do see that some of our funds actually trade at or around NAV. We have a question around private markets versus public markets. This is a very interesting question. I could go on for quite long about public markets versus private markets. Actually, if you think about it, the public markets as a subset of the complete investable universe, the private markets is actually very large, but traditionally it was structured for sovereign wealth funds and institutional capital. And there was no need to be liquid because a lot of these capital can stay private for a much longer time. Now, why is there now an allocation towards the private markets? Because the theory of diversification, you need something that's uncorrelated to the public markets. And the private markets have been very good in certain ways, developing themes, developing specific products for investors to invest in. For example, large buyout funds that focus on Europe, or credit funds that focus on private credit, or real estate funds who actually have a specialty in, for example, Europe commercial assets or Europe logistics assets. Right? These thematics, you catch them at the right time. For example, during COVID, you would have invested very well because these were the assets that actually were very resilient in the last year or so. Okay, there is a question around redemptions to hedge funds. At the moment, we're just about to release the open-ended feature and the redemption feature. So that would actually expand the number of funds that are available to us. Right now, for things like Hedge, it is available through the secondary market because it sits within the lockup period of the 2-year lockup period of the fund itself. But you do have liquidity within this tranche because of the tokenization. Now, in the near future, we're actually launching funds with the redemption feature, and therefore that will continue to add liquidity and flexibility for investors who invest in our funds. So keep a watch out for that as well. We have a question around what are the plans by iSTOX to increase liquidity in the platform. I think we continually have conversations with market makers. I think as we grow our breadth and our depth of product range, first of all, I hope to see our investor base creating more liquidity within that. I think that with different product launches like structured products, private equity, more bonds, more credit and more funds, that there is a very, very vibrant trading platform. But also institutions are starting to wait and see, when we get larger, to come in and help us market make certain products.
I see a comment by DY saying he's looking to invest in Quantage, but no one is selling. I think right now, yes, our liquidity is a bit low. However, orders do get filled. So simply just put an order. I'm sure we'll find a willing seller for you.
I see a question on, will we see single real estate asset investment? Look, I think our platform at the moment is already set up for private REITs and private real estate fund. We do have multiple requests around single real estate. We do think that there will be some of that in the pipeline that you will come across quite shortly.
There's a question asking about if they can convert currency on the platform.
Yes. The answer is yes.
Yes, we can. The rates are provided by DBS. It's a current rate that refreshes every 60 seconds. So we ensure our investors that you're getting one of the best rates in the market.
So DBS is a partner of us. They obviously all your cash that you transfer from your bank account to the iSTOX wallets is actually a DBS segregated customer account. And therefore, obviously, the natural extension is to work with DBS on the FX solution. So they provide a live price. And actually, this is the corporate rate that they offer us. And we sort of pass that on to our investors. So there's a question around issuer and in default, whether or not is there any sort of credit insurance? That's a good question. We are at the moment very cautious about taking on products or credit products that are at the credit risk level quite strong. We have a listing committee that is very robust in their review and questioning. I think that eventually when we look beyond the investment grade and the high grade space into the high yield space, that we would think very hard about credit protection for our investors. So the answer is yes, but we haven't had that opportunity to launch something yet. Yeah, so another question around investment universe that we're targeting, and I think we continue to see at the fund level, a number of VC funds have been speaking with us. And so I think VC will continue to we'll probably do at least another 2 to 3 VC funds on our platform. We do think there's a lot of excitement around growth and tech and venture cap. And we're happy to bring that to our investors.
There's a question by Hong San. Will you consider doing a second round of token to previous opportunities already traded in the exchange, especially in the hedge fund space? I think this is a question that a lot of investors have also highlighted to me, to myself and the team. So that is something that we can consider.
Absolutely. We see some of our partners you have seen on our platform do very well, and we do get a lot of reverse inquiries. So very soon in the near future, we are definitely looking forward to adding a second round or a third round of fundraising for these funds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think if you are an investor on our platform, just drop me a message of what you want to see, whether you want a second round or some funds that you think that you are willing to invest in. Yeah. Let me know and I feedback to the team.
Yeah, if we could get a good sense of reverse inquiry, we can do that very quickly.
Yes.
Yeah. So someone's asking about our listing process and how we think about it when we bring it onto our platform. I think we look at it in a few different facets, and then we have a proper sort of listing process. I think the commercial team wants to take products that, first and foremost, it must be products that pass the legal due diligence, right? So we do look at the track record, the reputation, the quality of the either the fund manager or the sponsor. And also, what the company, if it's a company, then obviously what the company does, who runs the company. We then also think, again, there are many, many good opportunities in the world, but it also depends on what our investors are looking for at that point in time. So on some occasion, it would be, for example, if there's a thematic that investors are very keen on, or there are actually a lot of thematics that our investors are currently not keen on. So we do think about that in different facets. And then we all take that through a listing process. So our lawyers look at the governance and the structure, any high risk events that might need to be highlighted. This all gets packaged into a listing committee. And if you have gone to our website, our listing committee is made up of very senior finance professionals, and they have spent a lot of time and understand the space very well. So Nels Frieds, for example, used to be head of securities at SGX. We have Sutat, who's at SGX at the moment. Kim Ling, who's ex-MAS. We also have Mark Lyman, who is the ex-CEO of CIMB, as well as Andrew Low, who's Barclays now at Bank of Singapore. So these people keep us very honest. They grill us, and they have a very strong listing committee process for everything that we put on the platform.
Yeah, I think we also have a lot of issuers that come to us asking to raise money, but we like to see what the investors want and give what the investors request for. So there's a whole pipeline that Oi and the team has really planned out well, and you will see in the next couple of months as we slowly reveal more and more opportunities for you guys to participate in.
There's an interesting question about private banks that I want to take, and somebody is asking about whether the private banks offer what iSTOX offer and what's the difference. I would say that in this private market space, not every private bank is set up to distribute and to manage private investments. And so we definitely see a space that we can work very closely with private banks to develop that infrastructure for them and with them, for them to take on hedge funds or VC funds to their clients. For example, some of the private banks are looking very closely at crypto investments. How potentially could we work with a private bank to deliver a crypto-based investment product? That's one way. The other thing that I've also observed is that a number of the private banks offer minimum ticket sizes of at least 250,000 for many of the funds, and in fact for hedge funds at least a minimum of $1 million. And we find that is that works for their construct. Maybe they're a very big private bank and they cover very high net worth clients, but we think that there's a huge space of investors who are between the 2 million to the 20 million that would love to have some exposure to VC funds, that would love to have some exposure to private REITs, or love to have exposure to different alternative investments that the private banks currently don't offer. So where they offer, we can probably show it in smaller sizes and make it more efficient, and also self-service. So you can go in and watch the video and read the webinar, read the IM or the marketing pack, and make a decision on our platform. And we hope that the ease of use will help you somewhat make that decision.
I think we're almost at about time. Perhaps we can answer one or two more questions, and any other queries you can just direct to me after the webinar.
There is a question around secondary listings of STOs from other platforms such as T0. I think at the moment we're a private permission blockchain. Partly because we want to make sure MAS is happy with us, and obviously to manage a number of risk items, including cybersecurity and all of that. So, but eventually, would we love to connect to other exchanges? I think the answer is yes. Would we love to whether it's T0 or any other exchange that provides the products that our investors would invest in? We would love to do that. But that is obviously a sort of longer range thinking.
All right. I don't see any other new questions. I think we have really covered almost everything. Thank you so much, Oi, for joining me today.
Thank you,
Give my investors a good overview. Again, any questions, feel free to contact me. My email is on the screen. Thank you very much and have a great evening.
Have a great evening.